Good morning again. I'm Jen Dalton.
And I'm Bob Herzog. Thanks for joining us here on ARC Cincinnati, better known as the Great Outdoors. Okay, we're technically still in studio, but still, just not a picture and a giant monitor there at all. It's definitely we're outside.
We're definitely outside.
Yep, that's right.
This morning, we are joined by our friend Bryan Wolf from Roads, Rivers, and Trails in Milford to talk about how you can lower your eco footprint on your next adventure. And Bryan, I'm glad you're here to talk about that because I haven't been actually camping in a while or canoeing, stuff that I've done before in the past, but I never really thought of that being something that I need to lower my eco footprint on. You know, right. I'm always one of those people that make sure that you clean, you
take it in with you, you take it back out.
Make sure it looks better than when you left. You know, I would never leave trash or anything, but how can we go about thinking about lowering our footprint when we are out there in the woods?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for asking. So, you know, we introduced our Extra Mile program. And so what that is, what we're really looking at is the total footprint and circularity of the products that we're selling. And so, of course, you back that up by the products that you buy.
True.
So knowing what's in the products and the responsibility of the brands that make the products, not to only, you know, to look at the end of life, to look at repairability, to look at what happens when the life cycle is totally done. And so that's something we're digging into, and we're backing these brands, and now we want to make that easier for the customer to understand and support.
And I love the idea behind that because we are in such sort of a throwaway culture now. There's a rip in it, there's a tear in it, there's a button missing, there's a zipper that's broken. Pitch it and buy a new one. You don't have to pitch it and buy a new one. So talk a little bit about that.
Please don't. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
so I would make more money if you pitched it and bought a new one, right? But I don't want you to do that. You know, we're about more than that. So whether it's you know, like our partnership with Bedrock Sandals, and they have a resole program that's all done in the U.S. They could restrap it. Your dog gets a hold of it. They're going to fix it. So I've had the same pair for 7 years. I send it back and I put a new sole on it for half the price.
So this, what I'm holding up right now, they can totally replace this bottom part?
Yep, absolutely.
It's like taking a shoe to a cobbler, you know, back in the day.
Well, I've done that as recently as maybe 7 years ago, taking my shoe.
But I never would have thought of doing it with something like that.
I never did. I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah.
Why replace?
Yeah.
Right. We can save you money. Our partnership with Rab, you know, to care for the product, wash the product, repair the product. So many of these companies have great things going on, but their story often kind of dies at a certain level, and we want to be that retailer that kind of facilitates that and furthers that conversation. And so we're lining up the different brands. We have we have calendar dates on our website for when those brands they're going to participate 365. But what we're doing is we're going to help it go a little bit smoother, right? Okay. We want to pay for shipping, maybe get you a discount on repairs, and kind of make sure that this process goes, because otherwise it goes in the back of the closet and you forget about it and say, it has a busted buckle.
Yeah. So that's something that you can find on your website?
Yep,
that
absolutely.
You can find some of those resources that you will help people find free shipping or find, you know, the places that would repair these things?
Yep, absolutely. Okay. And so we can help you with that anytime, but you could also take advantage of our calendar dates to kind of bring your gear in and take care of it. So right now we're working with Rugged Thread, which is actually out of Bend, and so that's going to be an all gear repair. Yeah. It's not brand specific. They fix just about anything.
So do they come into your shop?
Yep. They'll come drop off the item with us, and then that way we're going to take care of shipping, and we're going to ship it all back consolidated, so we don't have 20 different boxes of gear going somewhere.
Of course you are, because you're thinking about that too.
That's what you're doing. Yeah.
Right. You're amazing.
And it's so interesting too, because you know, people who are going to go out and hike and take in things like this, or you know, locally as well, those tend to be people who want to do things to benefit the environment anyway, but I don't know that people necessarily think about these things. I really don't think they do.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that was an option. Like if I had a rip in my tent, I didn't know. I mean, that you could find a place to go repair it for you. And if it's not something like, I can sew up a button on my shirt, you know, I know I can do that, or take it to a cobbler, but I think maybe it's just a lack of information out there, but so that's what you're doing.
Yep, just at the forefront. And then the end of life, so whether it's Nemo or Osprey, so a lot of tents and backpacks, camp furniture, things like that, now have their endless promise, their end of life cycle recycling. So we also ship those things back to be fully recycled, and so that we're also keeping things out of the landfill.
Okay, beginning hiker. person who doesn't get out a whole lot. They're not ready to overnight somewhere yet. You know what I mean? Advice for a beginning hiker who's just getting out, and maybe not ready to set up the tent just yet, but wants to get out a little bit further away and into nature. What's your advice?
And hopefully you don't need this program for a little bit then.
Yeah, right.
The biggest advice is starting small and just getting some help, talking to somebody that's done it before. Come in and talk to us. You don't have to buy a thing. We're gonna show you the best trails to go to. We're gonna get to know you, so we get to know what kind of speed you want to go, how many miles you want to go. We're going to stay somewhere close to home. We're going to start with a single night or maybe 2 nights out and kind of keep it simple. And maybe take advantage. We have a rental program as well.
Oh,
so
that's a great
maybe
idea.
you don't know if you want to go all in yet. Rent some things, try it for a weekend.
Give it a whirl.
See if this is for you.
What kind of things can you rent?
So basically a full backpacking kit.
Really?
Yep. So anything that's not like personalized. So backpack, tent, camp stove,
That's a great
filter,
idea.
trekking poles,
Yeah.
headlamps.
Yeah.
We also rent like a kids carrier. We rent a cargo box if you're going just on a quick vacation and don't want to own one of those. And so we're trying to build that out as well, and that's all part of the eco story.
Just
as well.
a different way of thinking about sort of camping and
So
hiking,
smart.
just all together. Before we let you go, I know there was a big event, a big massive cleanup project you guys are part of.
That's,
Get into that real quick.
that's tomorrow.
Okay.
So the Tire King, you guys have met.
I'm familiar
we met
with
the
that
Tire
guy.
King. We've
did.
met.
Yes,
Yeah,
we did.
He's going to be at it again tomorrow. Registration is still open on
Okay.
our website, so you can still sign up for tomorrow morning's river cleanup on the Little Miami River. We're going to do this once a month, all summer long, so you can sign up for either tomorrow or the following months, and help us get out there. We're going to provide everything. We're going to jump in canoes together. Not me, of course, but the Tire King.
Tire King,
Tire
sure.
King will be
And,
there.
you've never been seen in the same place at the same
Right.
time,
No,
which is
it's an
pretty
odd
remarkable.
thing.
Yeah.
And just it's a great journey, just being on the river and then making that impact. It's truly a feel good, have fun kind of event. So we encourage people to kind of get out there and do that.
And the way some of these areas where they can be so close to very urban areas, and the way we've seen rebounds. I was talking to you about the Mill Creek before, and there are just other areas where you don't necessarily think you might see an eagle just sort of.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's a thing. You know what I mean? So great opportunity for folks to get out and sort of nurture that along.
The beauty's out there, and it's more local than you think sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just in our backyard. There's plenty of opportunity and plenty of beauty.
And we need to keep it that way. So
Yeah.
thank you for doing what
That's
you're
right.
doing.
Brian, great stuff.
If there's a place, can people find all this information?
Yep, thank you. Roadsriversandtrails.com.
Roads,
You're
Rivers,
going
and
to
Trails.
go to our services, and you're going to see all of that: the rentals, the repairs, the extra mile program, the recycling programs, everything like that. You got fuel canisters you don't know what to do with. We'll take those as well. We know how to properly dispose of them. So we're all in on this, and
You're amazing.
want you guys to help out.
Yeah,
great
thank you
stuff.
so much for sharing all this information, because again, I think more people will do it the more that they know about it.
And tell Tire King we said
Tell
hey.
Tire King, yeah.
I will.
He needs
That
to
will
come
do.
back and visit us
Make
again
sure to.
sometime.
Yeah.
I could say something
Yeah.
to
Just
him.
make
Okay.
sure we're on the FCC button upstairs, because Tire King likes
Tire
to
King,
use
you
some
never
words.
know.
Hey there. Yeah, you could stop watching right now, but let's be honest, you don't want to do that. Hit the links or click subscribe to see more amazing content from all of us here at Local 12.